Hi, welcome to Magpie Moonchild. My name is Kayleigh. I'm going to do a read in a minute. I'm going to do a card by card read, a one-off read in a minute. But I just wanted to come on and say where I've been, what's been going on here, and why I haven't been doing reads for a while. Obviously, everybody knows coronavirus has swept across the planet. My country's been in lockdown since the 23rd of March, I think it was. Basically, obviously, I've had the kids home. A week before lockdown, my daughter got symptoms. So we had the kids off school an extra week. They were off from the Monday because we were told by the school if one of them's ill, all of them stay home to protect everybody else if the others weren't spreading it. And so we were locked in then. Originally, when we did it, it was 7 days self-isolating. The whole family had to do it for 7 days. Within 2 days, it was 14 days we'd have to be isolated. So this next week, the 23rd, a week later, I went down ill, and I went down ill. I was in bed for 3 weeks straight. I would get up to wake up needing the toilet, walk to the toilet, get completely out of breath, go to the toilet, obviously, somehow get back to bed, completely out of breath, and go back to sleep. Ached everywhere, tired. Initially, it was just tired, really tired, and my limbs just felt really heavy. And I thought, oh, this is a bit. Had a bit of a fever. By the end of the second week, I wasn't breathing very well. And by the end of the third week, we had an ambulance out for my breathing, because I couldn't breathe. A few days before that, I'd been put on antibiotics because they thought it was pneumonia. Basically, I'd got pneumonia. So that was to get rid of an infection. I was put on an inhaler at the end of the second week to help with the breathing, and told to do those cough breathing exercises to basically open up my lungs, and with the inhaler and the antibiotics. By the time the ambulance come out, I was on the inhaler nearly every hour. The breathing exercises constantly to try and be able to breathe in the prone position, sleeping upright. It was horrific, and basically I rang up on that Friday morning for a doctor's appointment to chase up what can we do, what more can we do, sort of thing. I think we got through at 8 o'clock. By 8:30, I was telling my husband to ring back again because I didn't know how long they were going to phone till they phoned back, because obviously the doctors are doing phoning back, and they said phone an ambulance. So we phoned an ambulance. My kids woke up. I had to say goodbye to them effectively, because until they got there, we thought I was going into hospital. They checked my lungs and they said, we're not taking you in. You're not bad. It's from the sound of it, you're coming back out of it. And it will take a couple more days for the antibiotics to kick in. And they did, thankfully, kick in by the Tuesday. I finally got out of bed. And I went downstairs for about an hour, and tired out, had to go back to bed and sleep. It was awful. Breathing was slowly getting better. I'm still off and on an inhaler, but so yeah, by the end of May, by the end of April, I was eventually able to get out for a small walk round the end of the road. And by the end of the road there's one more house on mine, and then it goes round in a loop of about 10 houses, and then around a little tiny green outside, and then you come back up about 5 or 6 houses. And that wiped me out doing that, and I went, oh, I've done too much. but just kept building it up every day. If I was really tired out, I'd have like a day off. If I pushed it too far, we wouldn't go quite so far. Eventually I managed to walk up as far as the kids' school, which is, doesn't sound, that sounds quite a way, but it's really not. It's like up our road, along a bit, and then up another road. But yeah, eventually, and touch wood, I can function now. I'm pretty normal. I can talk. I've been doing unboxing videos in the meantime because I could do them in bursts to begin with. I could do like 1 or 2 and at least get content on the channel going still. I think it was the Lightseers video I did, one of the first ones I did after I'd been poorly, and you can hear I actually had to stop the video at one point to take my inhaler to continue the video. It was that bad that if I was on the phone to somebody, I couldn't do more than say 10 minutes because I was just physically tired with talking for a while. But yeah, slowly but surely I've got better, and now I'm, touch wood, pretty much back to normal. I can yabber for about 2 hours straight, and to my brother, I think we did 5 hours the other night because we hadn't spoken to each other for for about 3 weeks, so we had lots to catch up on. But yeah, so basically, they think it was coronavirus. They weren't testing at the time. It's on my notes as suspected COVID-19, or SARS-CoV-19, whatever they call it. But we don't know because they weren't community testing at that point. They'd actually stopped it a few days before my daughter got poorly. So she wasn't tested, I wasn't tested. I have had the blood antibody test because I've had a stomach consultant telephone appointment since, and they sent me for a blood test. Not at the hospital, we had to go to Home Park in Plymouth to go and have that done. And I'm there walking along to my blood test, looking at the football ground, going, I was supposed to be here in 2 days' time watching Little Mix, and here I am getting a blood test for other things, and ironically to see if I've had coronavirus, which is what stopped us having the concert in the first place. But yeah, I had that done. I haven't had the results back because I haven't had my next appointment with the consultant yet. But yeah, so we've just been healing, slowly recovering. Obviously, once I got a little bit better, I took over the homeschooling for the kids. Because my husband had to go back to work. He's a critical worker, not just a key worker. He's a critical worker. He has to go to work, because if his section doesn't work, then there's all sorts of repercussions if they don't work. But yeah, so he has gone back to work, and we're slowly getting out more and more. We've been to the beach later at night. I think we went about a week after you could travel around and do it because everybody flocked to all the places. The moors were heaving, and we live on the edge of Dartmoor. Not the edge of Dartmoor where we were before. We're actually on the edge of Plymouth and Dartmoor, so we can easily whip out to the moors. Like we can walk onto the moors from where we are pretty much. But yeah, so we've been out on the moors a little bit, not too much. We go later at night though because there's not so many people. The beaches, we're not going to the beaches for the next couple of weeks because there's going to be so many people down on the summer holidays, especially now people are worried about not being able to go abroad. And yeah, so we're just sort of avoiding places a little bit because we don't expose ourselves to it. The cases where we are have gone up a little bit the last couple of weeks. But touch wood, we're all safe so far. So other than my daughter having symptoms and me having whatever that was, which we assume was coronavirus, but I didn't have it confirmed, so I don't want to say yes I had coronavirus because it wasn't confirmed that I did, but clinically tested to confirm it, but the doctors think that it was. The ambulance crew thought it was when they came out, but they went, "You're not bad enough for us to call," and I was like, "Oh, so sorry for dragging you out," and they went, "No, it's better that you call when you're like this than if you were worse, because people are calling us and it's almost too late when they call us to if they went in a little bit earlier, there's more we could do for them to help them. There are more options available to help at that point." So yeah, so we had that, and we just bumbling along with school homeschooling, because that's an extra pressure they put on everybody at home. rightfully so, the kids need to continue their education. I'm not against that. It was just there's been varying degrees of support from schools, and we were sent home very clear, this is what you need to do, with a letter with expectations. Do not deviate from what is this. It will be have to the detriment of their thing. Please ensure they're doing their schoolwork. I've seen worse letters, but not many. And I've heard a lot of really good support systems with their schools, where they've had phone calls from the teachers, Zoom meetings as a class, so the kids can at least see each other. But yeah, we've had none of that. We've had a letter sent out with the schoolwork each week from their teacher. No phone calls to check on us. Oh, I had one phone call, tell a lie, I had one phone call, and that was, could I go and collect my son's EpiPen? And that was the last day before the last day of term. Could I go and collect his EpiPen? That was it. And I had actually emailed them to tell them what had gone on with me being poorly. So again, they knew that I'd been really, really ill. And there was nothing. There was no real care from that point of view, but I'll take that up where I need to take that up, because it was a real kick in the teeth. I'm not the only parent that feels this way, by the way. We're not an isolated case. Nobody has had any contact from the school, and if they have, they've had to chase it. Sorry, that's my daughter's phone going off. But yeah, so we've just basically surviving with, and the homeschooling has taken time up, being ill, recovering, just having some quality family time around that, because obviously we're like trying to get them to read like 40 pages a day, even now, even in their holidays. We're still doing some work and still doing a bit of reading with them, or we're reading every day. And I've had to try and get my actual business back up running. Now the school holidays are off, like the pressure of homeschooling, there is some work they want us to still do over the holidays to get them Head Start ready, I think it was called. But yeah, I've got to do some work with them. And my son was underage expected in his handwriting, so but that's because it was never, I think we moved schools because the old school was awful. This school's really good education wise. This coronavirus thing is quite it's a clusterfuck, and I have to give them a bit of leniency with the fact that nobody was told how to deal with it and stuff. It's just, there have been other examples, better examples of how other schools have handled it, and you can't help but feel a little bit done by when yours is supposed to be one of the best schools in the city, in the county, and they haven't checked on anybody really, but there you go. So yeah, it's just the whole thing's been, the whole coronavirus has been, well, everybody knows it's been a clusterfuck. So but yeah, so I've had that. I'm trying to run my business as much as I can. I don't have a separate room for me anymore like I used to, so this is basically my stuff all in here. I've got schoolwork here, I've got sewing stuff here, I've got stuff over there. Thankfully my tarot cards and my spiritual books and my actual books, reading books, are all safely stored over there on a bookcase, a bit out of the chaos. I like to have them in a bit of a calmer space, my cards. But yeah, I've been sewing face masks, because I made them for us, ready for the mandatory mask wearing, and then people are going, oh, are you selling them? And so I made extras. So they've been on my website. I've had to set up the website because I refuse to go on Etsy any longer, because they just try and take money for doing not a lot. And sales have just been going down on Etsy steadily over the last couple of years, and I'm like, this isn't worth the money. So the fees have been going up and the sales have been going down. But yeah, so we're just, no, I'd rather just have my own website and run it from there. So yeah, I've been setting that up, getting bits and bobs sorted in the shop for that. So yeah, we've just been a little bit busy doing that and surviving like we all are. So yeah, we're all sort of okay. I mean, the kids have had emotional wobbles. They could have done with going back to school, my daughter especially. When there was a glimmer of hope that they'd go back, she sort of perked up a little bit. And then when we were told her year wouldn't be going back, none of my three kids were in the years that didn't go back. I'm kind of glad, because one going back and not the others would have been a little bit harsh on them, but equally She really could have done with going back in, and I don't just mean like educationally, because she learns, she's bright as a button. She'd done most of the work within the first day or 2 days that they sent home. For her, she'd done it all. She just likes being in the classroom. She likes interacting with her teacher, whoever the teacher is. She just loves the environment of being in school and seeing her friends. And she's just like, oh. So when her birthday's in September, she went, Mum, I can't believe I get to go back to school for my birthday. It's the best birthday present ever. So yeah, she struggled a lot, but they've been amazing. My youngest has struggled a little bit with like unsettling, mummy being poorly. They've all struggled with me being ill. They were all worried for a while. We all were worried for a while. I mean, when you go to say goodbye to them and you're like, well, mummy's got to go into hospital. She'll be okay, but you know, might have to go into hospital. And obviously all you see on the news is, we try to shield them a bit from the news, but is people go in and they're hooked up to a machine, and it's not good for a lot of people that are in, especially if you get hooked up to a machine. It's even less, yeah, and the rates were a lot less back then. Obviously as they've learnt more, it's different how they treat it, but that was in the beginning. But yeah, so we just got through that roller coaster, as everybody is, hoping for the best and doing the best you know how. So yeah, but we're all good. And now I'm going to be like trying to get more reads done. Obviously I've been doing the unboxings. As I said, that was because I have so many to do. I have so many. I still have more turning up now. So I think I've got content on them all the way to the end of August now. I think it's the end of August. So any that come in now will be September. So if you've got videos coming out now, I've had those decks for weeks, possibly months. But I do unbox them and look at them and do them when they come in. I like to keep them as an unboxing type one, a first look, so you get an initial reaction of what they look like. But yeah, it's just, I've been doing them to keep content, keep the channel going a little bit. But no, reads are coming back. I'm about to record a read. That's why I'm doing this before I start. But yeah, it was just to let you know where I've been. I haven't been neglecting the channel because I love reading. I read tarot every day. It's not, it's just things had to drop a little bit, and the pressure of doing reads consistently was not hard to keep up. It's just we had a lot going on, and that just naturally fell by the wayside. But yeah, I've tried to keep up with the unboxings to keep channel going. I know my friend Sarah likes to listen to my voice. Apparently she loves to hear me talk because she misses me. So I've been putting something up so she can listen to me if she really wants to. And then if anybody wants to see a deck that I've got in my collection, they can have a look at it. I've just done a comparison video this week for the 2 versions of the Muse Tarot. So I'm going to use the Muse Tarot, I think, in the next one, and the Light Seers. So I'm just going to do like a quick run through for each of the signs on the next video. It won't be this video. I'm just starting to shuffle them a little bit. But yeah, so I'm just thought I'd let you know what we're up to, where we've been, and that I am back. I can't promise any regular schedule at the moment because my husband's shifts are like random. I mean, they're consistent. He can tell me what shift he's working when he plans to retire. They are planned out like that, but what I mean is they're not like this week's is days and next week's backs, and it's not like that. It is all over the place, and there's random days off and stuff. So I am trying to get him to like take the kids sometimes to do the unboxings at the moment, and because they're kind of sat there as a constant reminder that I need to do a video for him and for me. But yeah, no, I'm going to try and do reads at least once a week, hopefully, but I can't promise anything specific because we're just surviving at the moment, aren't we? And we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they've announced this today that they think a second wave is coming, but we'll see, because I don't know what that even will mean or look like. So we'll just go fly as we can. But in other news, I've been told that I'm going to have a room created for me within the house, well, garage, for me to do my reads and have my sewing bits in there, so I'm not like hijacking the dining room any longer, because that's been happening. That obviously this is my dining room, so yeah, I'm just trying to wait for that to happen. But it took him 2 years to even put a washing line up for me at the last house. So, or was it a year or maybe 2 years? I can't remember. But yeah, it took him that long to even do that. So a whole room could take forever. So, you know, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, so there you go. That's your update. If you've listened to me bumble along for the last 20 minutes, thank you very much. I'm about to get on with the reads. But yeah, I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all staying well. I hope you're all healthy, happy, content as much as you can be. And I will see you again soon. Love and light to you. Bye for now.